Now let me get some calls in here. Damn, there's a lot of y'all in here. Damn, we got damn near 3,000 people in here. What y'all doing on a Saturday? All right, we got a lot of folks in here. Let's get the family in here. There are a lot of people in here. We got damn near 3,000 people in here. I'm glad to have y'all in here, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the family. Let me get some calls. Raise your hand if you want to get on and chop it up, because we're going to have some real conversation today. All right. I would get the brother with his shirt off, but no, brother. You got to go put a shirt on. Then I get you on. Let's get I can't pronounce. Let's get Ant Gamble in here. What's up, brother Ant? Let's get Ant in here. What's up, Ant?
Tariq, what's up, fam?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind, brother?
That's up 2 points. So that Salsa Walker situation first. Salsa Walker's he's not one of us. He's not an FBI. I think he Honduran or some shit.
Okay.
And also too, it was more to that story. It was some I guess some personal beef going on or some shit. I was on social media, and it just perpetuated on the street. But he ain't FBI.
Right.
And then one more thing, you gotta get back on 5150. Corey been talking about it. I've been wanting you to get back on there for the longest. Please get back on 5150.
I
Tap in with
will.
Corey whenever.
No doubt, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I got to get back on. Yeah, my brother Corey Holcomb. And again, I ran into Corey not too long ago, and I got to get back on there, man. That's my brother Corey. He does good work. Very funny comedian. Let's get this brother here. Tahir Jahi. I can't pronounce your name, sir, but we'll get you on. Tahir Jazi. I can't pronounce your name.
Peace, peace. My name is Tahir Jahi.
There you go. I was close. So
Yeah,
where
it
you
was it
from,
was
brother?
close. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but currently living in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool, cool. Now, where's your family from?
From Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, where'd you get that name if they're from Mississippi?
My mother, she
Oh,
she basically wanted a name with some meaning. So
okay.
it means pure and clean, and Jahi means dignity. So I know it's
Oh,
Arabic, but I'm FBA.
oh no, that's what's up. So what's on your mind, brother?
So two things. I know you're putting together a documentary. You need to holler at a brother named Paradise Gray. He was a producer at X Clan. He was the promoter at the Latin Quarter during the pretty much the incubator of the golden era of hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He also hung around with Sonny Carson, and he's currently the curator for the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So, and
Okay.
he's a mentor of mine who, he always put me on to a lot of the history. And I talked to him yesterday. I'd mentioned your name or whatever, and I just wanted to get his perspective on other people claiming to have ownership or being.
Now, when you talk to him, what was his perspective when you talked to him? Did he mention anything about it?
Well, the first thing he mentioned was so Cool Herc, right? There were so many other DJs before Cool Herc doing the same thing. He had mentioned DJ Smokey and the Smokatrons.
Yeah. Yep.
And a few others. But I don't want to tell his perspective on how he's seen things, because I mean it's crazy how he was just like he was present in a lot of these moments. It's just crazy how it's
Yeah.
connected.
Put me in touch with dude. I would like to chop it up with him. That'd be great. Yeah, put me in touch with that brother. Hit me in the DM, man. Thank you. Yeah, I like to talk because we got to get it straight. We got to get all of that stuff straight. That's what we're gonna do with this documentary that we're doing about hip hop, the real roots of it. Because there's again going back to erasure. There's a bunch of people who were creating hip hop, creating the culture in the 70s, who are all FBA, and they are just completely erased from the history. And we always hear about these people, but it gets buried. That's what we're going to do with this film. We're going to talk about who these people are. I keep saying there's this void from 1973 to 1979. Everything is deliberately muddled about what happened in hip hop. We got to get the chronology right. I really want to focus on even before the 70s. I want to get into the roots of where all of those moves and the rhyming comes from. But I also want to focus on that period between 73 and 79 because people skip over that. They talk about this party that Kool Herc had, and then they skip to Rapper's Delight, and then start talking about Rocksteady and all of these groups. And let me say this about the Rocksteady thing. Um, Crazy Legs and those guys. Look, when I was a kid, because we used to break dance, and I was a big fan of Crazy Legs. And let's be clear, nobody's hating on the Latinos and Puerto Ricans. This whole thing of us hating on them, we're not hating on anybody. We're just getting the record straight. There's some Puerto Rican dancers, Latin dancers who could dance their asses off. They're phenomenal break dancers, but they didn't create hip hop. You see how that works? There are some Puerto Rican dancers that are phenomenal, excellent b-boys. Love to watch them, love what they're doing. All good, all great, but you didn't create it. That's the long and short of it. You just didn't create it. And again, we keep challenging people. Show me what a Puerto Rican did or created in any element of hip hop that wasn't taught to him by a Black person, particularly a foundational Black American. That's all you have to do. Just ask questions. I don't get into the emotional thing. People get into these smoke screens. Oh, y'all hating. Y'all don't like us. Well, we was there at the party. I was there. I remember going there at the party at the Latin Quarter. No, we're not asking you where you were. What did you create? What did any Latino in the Bronx create that was not already created by a foundational Black American? And that goes for the Jamaicans too. What did you create as far as hip hop that was not created by a foundational Black American? Jamaicans too. That question is for you too. We got to get this stuff straight. We got to get it straight because, like I said, this whole thing where they're going to have b-boying and breakdancing in the Olympics, that's going to be very significant. And this is why people are trying to claim jump on hip hop right now. We got a bunch of claim jumpers out here. So we got to get the record straight. Because let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it a buck about this breakdancing. The breakdancing that's being done now, or that was done in the 80s, that wasn't real b-boying. Let me keep it a buck here. A lot of this breakdancing that a lot of these non-FBA folks were doing and are doing now, and they got some excellent moves and some very interesting moves, but that's not what real b-boying was, okay? A lot of what these folks are doing now, these non-FBA people, and what you're going to see in some of these competitions, it's more gymnastics than b-boying. B-boying was when these FBA dancers, they would groove to a song, syncopated with the song, groove to the beat, get down, do some floor work, still syncopated with the beat, and then get back up and fall right back into the funk groove. You see, it was more fluid. They were more in line with the music. They were grooving with the music. They were boogieing with the music, and the floor work, that was just the icing on the cake to a certain degree. They did a couple of moves on the floor, and they could jump back up and then get right back into the groove and boogie with the groove of the music. That was real b-boying. What you have now are a bunch of dudes. They throw a record on and just start doing acrobatics. They're doing flips and spins, and that's gymnastics. Okay, that's good. That's cool. But it ain't true b-boying if we want to keep it a buck. You see? A lot of these dudes they don't have that groove. They're not grooving with the music like the original b-boys were grooving with the music. And again, if you look at certain movies back in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, you'll see some of those dancers that the original b-boys got their moves from. They would do some standing work, some standing dance moves that was fly. And then at the end of their routine, they'll hit the floor and do some stuff and then jump back up and get back in the groove. You don't see that with a lot of these other FBA folks out here who's claiming breakdancing and all of this stuff. Even when you see the gymnastic competitions, when you see some of these white girls and some of these other people, it's a very rigid form of gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? With these girls who go out here and they'll do the flips and doing it's a very rigid thing. But when you see some of these sisters do gymnastics, they do it and they groove to the music. That's what makes it fly. These sisters, what's the little Belizean girl? She was fly with what she did. What's her name? The little short girl who was winning the Olympics. What's her name? I can't think of her name. But she knew how to get out there. She had the groove. She had the vibe. She go out here and they put they put some songs on, and they would do the gymnastic routine to the music, and it would mesh with the music. They would do flips and then jump back out of the flips and then get back into the groove. That's what made it look fly. A lot of these other folks don't really have that type of vibe. They don't have that kind of energy. You think? So we have to look at the whole totality of all of this stuff. Let me get some more people in here. Let's get Wesley. Let's get Wesley in here. What's going on, Wesley? Turn your microphone on, Wesley. All right, Wes, I hate when people, either your phone is janky or mine. All right. All right, Wesley, hop on, man. Okay, turn your microphone on, Wesley. Okay.
Hello?
He's slowing. There you go.
Hi.
All right.
I'm not sure. I'm actually, hi, I'm from South Africa.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm
How
a
are
South
you?
African guy, and I've been listening to you for about a decade. And I just wanted to tell you that, it's actually nice to finally talk to you, because I have a couple of things I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
First thing I want to know is, like, what made you transition from being like a Pan-African guy into being someone who talks more about foundational Black Americans, and you're not talking about Africa?
The last thing broke up. Go ahead. Wesley, where you at, brother? Okay. Let's say that one more. You broke up, sir. So let's try it again. You say, so what made me transition from being a Pan-Africanist to talking about FBA as opposed to what?
As opposed to, see, when I was watching your Hidden Colors movies, you were talking about African people like as a unit, as an international unit that needs to combine together to fight the white supremacist system. And then, like, in the last couple of 2 years, you've almost transitioned from that message, and now you're talking more about foundational Black Americans, and you're not saying anything about us as an international unit. So I want to know, like, what changed?
Oh, a great question. What changed was the people in Africa and the Caribbean. That made me change my position, because they don't want to have a Pan-African Union. That made me change, and I'm not going to force them to have a Pan-African Union that they don't want to have. So that made me wash my hands of that right now, because they don't want it. They do not want it at all. I've been all over Africa trying to get something popping, trying to get some type of dual citizenship popping, and ain't nobody biting. I've been to the Caribbean trying to get some dual citizenship, trying to build some things. Let's have a coalition. Nobody's biting. They don't want it. And not only do they not want it with us, they don't want it there. I've been to your homeland, South Africa. I love the South African people over there. Love them to life. I was just giving props to Julius Malema for some of his comments he was making about the Queen. Love that, brother.
Yes.
But the thing is, unfortunately, there and other parts of Africa, there's so many tribal damn beefs over there. Y'all are not on the same page. I've been over there. I've been over there to them townships in South Africa, and I'm looking around at people living in squalor, and there's the white people across the street living in condos, and the people living in squalor are on some, well, that's a colored person, and that's a Black person, and he's from that tribe. So everybody's on this tribal difference nonsense, and everybody's being oppressed who's non-white. So I'm waiting for y'all to get it together over there. When y'all get it together over there, that's when I'll say, hey, maybe we can try the Pan-African thing again. But y'all ain't really trying to be on that over there. So why am I going to push something that you ain't pushing? What sense does that make?
Okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. I see a lot of our people, as a South African, I've noticed that a lot of us, there's a lot of division in the community. You see,
yes,
there's so many tribes, and each tribe, they have their own agenda. You see,
Yeah.
so for me, it's something that's quite bizarre. I don't understand it because I've been reading about Marcus Garvey since I was like six years old. I'm like 30 years old now, so I've been doing it all my life. So I'm quite familiar with the whole struggle. I've read Malcolm X, I know Elijah Muhammad, but when I talk to my fellow African brothers and sisters, they have no idea who Elijah Muhammad is. They don't
Yep.
know who Malcolm X is. They don't know anything about John Henry Clark. So I see what you mean when you're saying when you meet them, there's always that condescending attitude. So I understand what you're saying. It's not like I disagree with what you're saying. So,
Right.
but I still believe that we have to we have to somewhere somehow figure out a solution to this problem because I see that the white power structure it's still on our necks, and here in this country I see it all the time, and I watch a lot of videos on YouTube about the situation that's going on in the United States with the police. I do like my research as much
Thank
as
you. I'm gonna have to land your plane, brother. Thank you so much. And that's another thing. Unfortunately, a lot of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora, they get into a babble thing. But I feel you, brother. But I just got to land your plane. But like I said, nobody's over there really biting on that. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to continue a one-sided Pan-Africanism. I don't want anybody in the diaspora to be harmed, but what I have to focus on our lineage here because we have damn near exhausted our resources helping every damn body, and now our resources are depleted, so we got to get right. So we're doing what everybody else is doing, looking out for their own lineage. Listen, it is not our job to sit here and allow ourselves to be exploited by all these different groups, even if these groups have melanin like us. It's not our job to be exploited indefinitely because that's what it is now. A one-sided coalition where only one person is putting forth an effort to bring something to the table and nobody else is, that's called exploitation. And I don't want to be exploited no more. I don't want my lineage of people being exploited no more. Enough is enough because it's not even being appreciated. We sit here and allow ourselves to be exploited. And then the people who we help, they come over and say, well, we got to stay away from these Akatas. I posted a video earlier where a sister was going to some of these African braiding shops around her city, and they were telling her, we don't hire Americans. These people don't even hide it. We don't hire Americans. I was with my brother, filmmaker, Alex Alonso. We did an interview on his street TV channel. We did a great interview. He's going to put that out. We were chopping up some real good game. And over where he lives, he was talking about how, and he's been at his spot for a long time here in LA. And he was talking about how the Koreans came and they started buying up all of this property. Well, the black people who owned it before, they kind of sold it to the Koreans. And the Koreans started evicting all the black people. And the Koreans were putting out rental ads only in Korean papers. You see, they would only advertise it in those Korean newspapers. So they were trying to get him out. And I think he had a lawsuit and he got him a few dollars from the lawsuit because of the discrimination. You see, we got to file suits against these people to stop them from harming us. Now, I'm not talking just about black people in the diaspora. I'm talking about shit, black, Arab, Asian, all of these people come over and try to exploit us. It's not our job to go for that. And now it's getting to the point where people are coming over here from the diaspora and being very hostile towards us because they're getting in positions with the white supremacists against us. There's a Nigerian Sambo cop that we posted some images of where he's making these little weird jokes, these little coded jokes about black people down in Texas. And we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of these African and Caribbean cats coming over here, getting in law enforcement, coming over here, working in the correctional facilities, and they're getting into all types of abuses over here against us. There was one African correctional officer who was raping people up there in Maryland. They arrested this African correction officer for raping inmates. You see what I'm saying? Down in Atlanta, you got, not only do you have these non-FBA cops out here, you have these non-FBA people who are impersonating cops out there. There was some dude who was Caribbean he works for a security company, but he was rigging his car to make it look like a cop car, and they gave him a citation on it, and he was begging, "Oh, please, please don't do this." So they gave him a citation for rigging his car to make it look like he was an actual cop. And I say this, these tethers going around places like Atlanta pretending to be cops. What happens if they pull over a sister and they're pretending to be a cop and this sister goes along with them? What's going to happen in a situation like that? Does that have something to do with so many sisters turning up missing? You feel me? I got more questions now. These tethers running around here acting like they're cops. Now they pull over some sister who's driving by herself somewhere, unsuspecting. She's driving by herself. She gets into the back of a fake cop car and nobody ever sees her again. It's not documented. This is not recorded anywhere. This is not, nobody knows what happens. I think that has a lot to do with the sex trafficking. Do y'all remember in St. Louis? Y'all heard about all these white vans that we keep hearing about circling around neighborhoods? These white vans circling around, snatching folks up. They found one of those white vans in St. Louis a couple of years ago, and it was some damn immigrant tether coons who owned the van. You see what I'm saying? So when we start seeing all of these sisters ending up missing, we better ask some questions. Who's doing this and who's behind this stuff? We better ask some serious questions. So yeah, this is why we're saying, hey man, we got to rethink this whole Pan-African thing, man. Because who are these folks coming over here? We thinking this person is black like me and we're all on the same page and we're all on code. This person thinks totally different from us. And we see that now with the way these niggas was acting about the Queen of England dying. We're seeing a lot of Jollof coonery going on out here, and Bammy bread and Aki and saltfish tears with this woman dying, and these folks out here crying over the Queen dying. A lot of FBAs are looking like, hey, what's going on with these niggas? What the hell? Y'all crying over her? So what are we gonna build with you? And y'all crying over the Queen dying. What we gonna build with you? I mean, we got niggas out here boo-hooing. Oh my God, the Queen is gone. Why not me? Take me, Lord. Bumberclad. The Queen has done so much. Bumberclad. I mean, niggas are boo-hooing over the colonizer. This woman was horrible. Her family was horrible. That's a crime family. The royal family is a crime family, dude. They've exploited these places, depleted these places of all of their resources, subjugated the people, and y'all running around here crying over these folks. And you question why we're looking at this Pan-African thing a little different. The realization is hitting us like, hey man, they ain't really trying to build nothing for real, for real. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's get this person in here. Let's get Pick Meave. Pick Meave. That is that person's name. Pick Meave. Hop on.
Peace, Tariq. Thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't going to say anything, but you said something earlier in the space about how somebody had hit you up about something that had happened to somebody. And I really resonated with that because this past week, the family has been going through it with baby Micah. And I just wanted to say thank you for your support on that. And I don't know how you found out about Micah, but I think it's very powerful that you speak up for the little people. So thank you, Tariq.
No problem. Thank you so much, beloved. Yeah, little Micah, man, was a baby, man. His brother, FBA brother down in Texas, they took the baby into the hospital. I think it was something, they wanted to get a gallbladder, something removed from the baby. Then the baby died. Little black baby died, and they can't explain why the baby died. So, I gave a little something to the family, man. That's so horrible. That broke my heart, man. But I don't want to bring the mood down. But yeah, that just, little stuff like that. And we got to watch out for our babies. We got to watch out for our kids. We're going to get on the bumper of the people in Fresno this week too. Did y'all see the story in Fresno where there was a special needs black kid at school, and they got it on videotape? The security camera showed that this suspected white supremacist principal violently pushed this special needs kid down. So they've been low key trying to protect the guy. I think he resigned before he got fired, but then another school hired him as a vice principal. We're trying to find out where that school is because we're going to be on his bumper, and we need the family to be on top of this. The prosecutor, the DA up there, and the cops, they're acting like the Keystone Cops right now. I don't know if they charged him yet, but I know the pressure is on them to charge this dude. We got to be on their bumper about that. So we're going to be looking into that this week, and I ask that the family look into that too. What's going on? Because we can't let these folks sit up here and abuse our kids. These white supremacists are damn cowards. They go for soft targets, children who can't really defend themselves, and then they think they can take their little white supremacist anger out on these babies. That's not going to happen, man. We got to be on these folks' bumper and make sure they get up out the paint. And speaking of that, that teacher, that professor out there at Carnegie Mellon, they're on her bumper right now. Uja, whatever her name is. See, people are trying to galvanize FBA support because white people are attacking her now because she said some things about the Queen, which I don't even disagree with. I don't disagree with her comments about the Queen. But the thing is, that same woman was over here calling us all types of Akatas. So she's going to have to hold her own nuts and fight her own battle. The FBA family ain't really jumping in to save her on that. You're going to have to deal with these white supremacists. Deal with them on your own. See how it works when you do it by yourself. She's going to have to go ahead and handle that. Since we're Akatas, right? I'm an Akata, so what do I know? I can't do nothing. I'm an Akata. I don't know no better. And you're smarter than me, right? Let's go ahead and handle that. Let's get some more folks in here.